The following reviews are about STX International STX 3000 TF Turboforce sausage stuffing tube. Please go to the link in the description to get it for a low price. Review number 1. For me and for my wife, cooking is a kind of a hobby. Before buying a meat grinder, we analyzed several models. The first conclusion, the most important feature of a meat grinder is the motor power. This STX has a powerful 1800 watts motor, more than enough to do all of the duties of a home kitchen, and maybe even of a small restaurant. Other meat grinders with smaller motors, such as 500W or 800W, will not fit for heavy duty, 10 or more pounds at once, nor will be able to deal with some kinds of meat. After some research, we ordered it from Amazon. The delivery time was as promised. The machine was very well packed in a so protective box. Our first test of the product revealed that we made the right choice. Some points to highlight. 1. Most parts are polished aluminum. So easy for cleaning, very nice appearance. 2. The finishing is careful at every detail. It is clearly a good quality product. 3. It works wonderfully. The powerful motor is far more than enough for regular meat. 4. The ground meat texture results very similar to that from a supermarket grinder. I've seen other home meat grinders that produced a kind of a paste. This one, however, preserves the texture as it should be, perfect for hamburgers, tartar beef, and so on. 5. It is so easy to assemble/disassemble and to operate. Impossible to mistake. 6. Despite we didn't use it yet, the sausage kit will be very helpful. In short, this is a 5 stars product, no doubts about that. But we had a problem, the aluminum parts are not dishwasher safe. We didn't notice that, and what went to the dishwasher was damaged, the shining was gone and those parts became some rough to touch. So, I contacted the seller, the mercantile station, and asked them the price of the replacing parts, since I would buy them. What a pleasant surprise, they promptly sent me an email asking for my address, and they kindly offered to send the parts for free, despite, I must stress, the damage was caused by me. What an elegant attitude. So, would Amazon allow it? The seller would deserve 6 stars. Important note, a few months after we bought our STX, the motor was improved to 2000 watts, I.E., an increase of about 11%. I'd guess that, with this new and more powerful motor, the machine will able to perform an even heavier duty. My one is still working so fine, no complaints at all. An additional note, after almost 2 years of use, the machine is still perfect, as when it was new. No problems at all. I am really impressed with the superior quality. A great deal. Review number 2. In order to clarify some of the comments in this thread, I am updating my original review. There was a different model substituted on Amazon.com for the STX Turbo 1800 watt for a very brief period over the summer. During that time all of the reviews for the 1800 watt model showed up on the 2000 watt model, and that led to a little bit of confusion. I made it worse by trying to clarify that I did not buy the 2000 watt one. I have now eliminated all comments in this thread that I made in regards to that small fiasco. Original review. I recently decided to start making homemade cat food and spent quite a while researching grinders that would be up to the task of handling chicken bones on a routine basis. Most of the information available online from folks who are making their own cat food says that they are either using Tyson or Northern Tool grinders. The vet whose website had the recipe that I am using referenced the Northern Tool grinder having been identical to the Tyson at a lower cost until a recent production change caused that product to start having issues with bones in some cases, so I was looking for a similar high wattage grinder and found the STX Turbo 1800 watt model. The power level far exceeded any that were available at my local retailers as well as others available on Amazon. The price was also very competitive with the Northern Tool product. The change in my cats since the switch has been remarkable, and I am now making food for numerous friends as well. Every Sunday I process 32 to 40 pounds of broilers through the STX Turbo 1800 watt model, and it has worked like a charm for just over 3 months now. Once the majority of the meat has been removed from the birds and is ready to go through the coarse grind plate, the chunks fill 4 to 5 6QT containers. The STX Turbo 1800 watt will grind through that in less than 10 minutes if the meat is well chilled. The bones take longer because I double grind them through down to the 4mm plate, and unless the mixture is very cold it does not slide down the fill chute wall on the second grind. The machine does not seem to bog down on the bones themselves, however. I have just had to learn to be responsive to the sound of the motor in order to know when to allow the blade time to catch up in order to achieve the fastest overall grinding speeds when processing the bones. I am the extremely happy owner of the STX Turbo 1800 watt model, and my 5 cats, and 26 shelter/foster cats plus several friends' cats, think that I am amazing because of the STX Turbo 1800 watt model. Review number 3. I was looking for a meat grinder that would grind bones for making pet food at home. I researched the internet and read reviews on at least 40 grinders. After doing so, I purchased the STX Turboforce 3000, and I am so glad I did. I read that if the meat was somewhat frozen, it was easier to grind in most grinders. I want to tell you, I was so excited to try out this grinder after purchase that I used thawed chicken legs and thighs, of course, bones and all. This machine sucked them up and spit them out so quickly and easily that I could not believe my eyes. It was so much fun and so fast, and the meat came out perfectly. I was surprised that it worked so easily without the meat being even the least bit frozen. I also ground up steak and made some great quality ground beef. I washed the parts that were involved with the grinding so easily and sprayed some veggie oil on those parts per the instructions, and have used this machine about 5 times now without any problems or regrets. I love this grinder, the look of it, the fantastic job it does, the price, everything. It was delivered in about 7 days without any express shipping payments. One thing I was surprised about though, many of the reviews said it was loud, but the 3000 model was not loud. It made a little noise, but it was not bad at all. I have to say, if you are looking for a really great meat grinder, I would highly recommend this one without hesitation, and I am sure my dogs and cat would too. They love the food I have made for them, and they are able to maintain their health at a lower cost. The following reviews are about STX International STX 3000 TF Turboforce sausage stuffing tube. Please go to the link in the description to get it for a low price. Review number 1. For me and for my wife, cooking is a kind of a hobby. Before buying a meat grinder, we analyzed several models. The first conclusion: the most important feature of a meat grinder is the motor power. This STX has a powerful 1800 watts motor, more than enough to do all of the duties of a home kitchen, and maybe even of a small restaurant. Other meat grinders with smaller motors, such as 500W or 800W, will not fit for heavy duty,